Hello, everyone. This is the most magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review. And this character review is going to be on Gold Mythic Deputy Carl. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. And at the time of this recording, it is Mother's Day. So I just want to wish all of the wonderful mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. All of you awesome moms that are out there, you keep doing what you're doing to be great mothers. And now, I don't think we should waste any more time. I think we should go ahead and jump into this character review, shall we? Deputy Carl, Holiday Heroes. His trait is tough. His role is a damage dealer. And his allegiance is a member of the Holiday Heroes. Now, it doesn't make any sense to me why he's a part of the Holiday Heroes unless they're connecting him and Andrea because it is Mother's Day. That's the only logical reason I can think of why he's in the Holiday Heroes. But if he was by himself, it wouldn't make sense. But hey, it is what it is. Now let's take a look at his stats. His attack stat is 25,074. His defense is 12,537, and his HP is also 12,537. Now let's take a look at his adrenaline rush. Watch me. The recharge rate is 55 AP, so that's a little bit faster than most gold mythics. Remove all positive effects from a line of enemies. Deal 800% damage to that line of enemies. If Gunner Andrea is on this character's team, that line of enemies get 20% of this character's attack stat as maim damage. Now, obviously, I think overall, Deputy Carl is a better character than Gunner Andrea. I mean, that makes sense. He is a promo toon, but I think so far, just based off his adrenaline rush, he's already doing way more damage. I mean, 800% damage to a line of enemies, that's a really good amount, honestly. And I like his adrenaline rush, and especially if you are planning on having Deputy Carl. No, let me say that the other way around. If you are planning on getting Gunner Andrea, and if you can go for Deputy Carl, it would be really beneficial to put these two on the same team because, different things are going to happen. And this is the first example of this. If Gunner Andrea and Deputy Carl are on the same team, that line of enemies that he attacks is going to get maim damage. And he potentially, within one adrenaline rush turn, the first time he does his adrenaline rush, potentially that whole line could get wiped out because of the maim damage added with that 800% damage, which that's going to be really good. But even if Andrea isn't on the team, 800% damage is still going to be a very good amount. Plus, all positive effects from the enemies are going to be removed, and that's also very good. So I'm really liking his Adrenaline Rush. Now let's take a look at his signature move, Point Blank Shot. The initial cooldown is turn 1, number of cooldowns 2 turns, number of uses unlimited, deal 600% damage to an enemy plus 100% for each negative effect on that enemy. That enemy gets a random debilitating effect for 2 turns if they excuse me, if they did not have a debilitating status effect. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Alright, so I really like that signature move. Again, not as much damage as the Adrenaline Rush, but 600% damage is really nothing to sneeze at. And potentially that, well, he's not doing 600% to a line, but he's doing that 600 to a single enemy. And then plus if that enemy has like burn, stun, impair, confuse, daze, you can just think of all of the negative stuff that could be on that enemy, and he's going to do 100% damage however many negative effects will be on that enemy, and that's going to be really nice. So yeah, that could stack up to even be more damage than the Adrenaline Rush, and that potentially might be better than the Adrenaline Rush, potentially, but it just depends on how many negative effects are on that enemy. So yeah, I really like the Adrenaline Rush and the signature move for sure. Both of them have a lot of damage output potential for sure. Now let's take a look at his mythic abilities. Agility, 20% increase in basic attack damage. No need to really go into it. I would definitely level this one up all the way. It's just going to help with his damage output and his attack stat that much more. Police Presence. At the start of each turn, 60% chance a random enemy gets impair, stun, and dazed for 2 turns. Wow. Wow, you're asking to piss people off with that one. Oh man. At the start of each turn, 60% chance that an enemy potentially one of your teammates could get impaired, stunned, and dazed for 2 turns. Oh my goodness. Well, I would hate to come up against Deputy Carl that has that mythic ability leveled up all the way. Man, that would just frustrate me. It would. So, yeah, I would definitely level that one up. So, it's more than likely going to happen. So that's a pretty good one. Buddy Cop. This character gets 15% attack if Gunner Andrea is on the team. This character gets an additional 15% attack. Okay, so that would be 15. So that would be potentially 30% attack if Andrea is on the team, which that can be pretty nice. But that 15% attack might be good enough on its own. But especially if you have the new Andrea, 30% attack, that's just going to help out with his damage output that little bit more. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be pretty good. Is it the number one necessary one to level up right away? Maybe not right away. I feel like Police Presence is going to be like a way better one to level up, just to be to be a nuisance toward your enemies. That's why I think police presence overall is going to be the best one so far. But we're going to get into the last one. Tracking shot. When this character performs their specialist skill, 100% chance the target and one other enemy get crosshairs for 3 turns. Ooh, okay. That's, we're going to get into the specialist skill shortly. But yeah, whenever Carl, whenever he performs his specialist skill, there's a 100% chance that one target and one other enemy are going to get that crosshairs for 3 turns. That's 100% guaranteed. So potentially you could be decapping 2 characters right off the bat. So that's going to be really good. Honestly, agility is going to be very important. Police presence is going to be really important as well, just to be a nuisance on, when you have to come up against this guy on raids or whatever, or war. Police presence, agility, and tracking shot, I think, are the absolute most important ones to level up on Deputy Carl. Buddy Cop is good too, but I would put that one in last place just because the other 3, in my opinion, are just a lot more important for this character, but all of them are pretty good. Now let's take a look at his specialist skill, Cutthroat 2. Whenever this character deals damage to a fighter that is under the effect of a debilitating status, they will deal 100% extra damage. This is pretty good. Oh yeah, especially if an enemy has any of those debilitating statuses: stun, impair, infection, burn, bleed, whatever you name it. They're just gonna, he's gonna do that little bit more damage, which is going to be pretty good. And that's going to coincide with the mythic ability of Tracking Shot. I already forgot the name of it, but yeah, Tracking Shot and his specialist skill are going to go really well together, honestly. So that's a really good specialist skill, especially on this particular character. Now, as you can see, he has a default weapon, so you can pretty much put whatever you want into his hands. And I think right now, there is a Deputy Carl's assault rifle that's in the current Mother's Day event. So, if you are planning on pulling for Deputy Carl, that weapon honestly might work out really well for him. I think I would maybe prioritize that weapon if you can, unless you already have a weapon that's very good with Deputy Carl. Now, I have to say, I really love the look on Carl, and Carl, oh man, he looks just like his father like son. That's definitely true in the comics. Not so much in the show, but all I'll say about that is there was a certain individual that made a boneheaded decision and messed that up. No need to really name that person, but you guys already know who made that decision to not have Carl around. It does suck. I wish we could have gotten Carl, past season 8 to see how he would have dealt with Alpha and in the Whisperer arc and the Commonwealth arc. It would have been so interesting to see how he would have dealt with that and reacted to that. But you know what? We got Judith in the show when it was around, and I mean, I would have rather had Carl, but I ended up really liking Judith, so Man, imagine if we could have had both Carl and Judith. I think that would have made the show even better, honestly. But like I said, a bonehead made that bonehead decision, and then they got promoted. They failed upward because of that. But you know, you guys already know who that is. But you know, we're not. All right, I'm gonna quit with that. But yeah, I really like the design on the character. It's really simple, like father, like son. You know, and you know, if you go for this character on the pools, good luck. He seems like he might be a pretty good character overall and possibly worth pulling for. And I don't have much else to say, so yeah, that's all I got for you guys for today. What are your thoughts on Deputy Carl? Do you think he's a really good toon? Do you think he's an overrated toon? Are you going to pull for him? Or are you just not going to be able to pull for him? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pull for him, but I still think he's a really decent toon, honestly. And whatever your thoughts are on him, just let me know down in the comments. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.